Hi, this is Michael Devlin with the Michael Devlin Group, and I'm here today to answer a question. What tech do I really need in order to be successful in real estate? And if you're looking at all the different technology options and you're feeling overwhelmed, you're used to using AOL and Yahoo as your email, and you've never really ventured much further than that, and you're questioning whether or not you're ever going to be able to sell real estate if you don't understand all of this technology. Well, don't fret. If you're able to meet with people and have conversations with people and hold appointments with people, you can make money in real estate. I have agents that I work with, they're part of my sales organization, who have an AOL email and don't really know how to log into EXP sites. And some of them don't even use websites because, their clients have heard of Zillow and they find homes on their own to show, and yet they're selling real estate. On the other hand, there's people that understand all the technology and they're not doing anything. So there's some minimum things that you're going to need to have in order to be successful, and we can talk about how to get better at this so that you're more efficient. So to start with, what is the minimum? Well, you're going to need to access and understand how to use the multiple listing service. You're going to have to be able to find properties for sale. You're also going to have to be able to run comparables of properties that are maybe going to be for sale or are for sale. And all of the local MLSs, they all have lots of training. The software is kind of used everywhere. There's several varieties, but there's lots of videos. You need to take the class on how to use your MLS software. Number two, you have to learn to use the lockbox key. Now, the lockbox key isn't a key in the sense, that you would think of a key, but it's an app on the phone that opens up the boxes so that you can show property. You need to learn how to do that. Zip Forms is the name of the software that we use to write contracts and offers and listings and all that sort of stuff. You're going to need to have a basic understanding of how Zip Forms works. And the Realtor's Property Resource, you could say it's optional, I guess. I have agents that are doing decently that don't really use it very much, but it's one of the easiest, more friendly, let's just say, ways of running market analysis and comparables for properties and making some simple flyers and things like that. There's also, so that's level one. You've done the minimum. If that's all you do, you can, God bless you, you can still sell real estate. Now, in order to take advantage of the tools and systems that EXP offers, you might want to learn how to use some of those apps. There's EXP World, which is our metaverse, the virtual reality where we go to attend classes, find out, talk to accounting, talk to a broker, that sort of thing. EXP Enterprise is a site where you can connect with vendors, you can get copies of logos, you could order business cards, you could order for sale signs, you could check whether or not you capped or not, or how close you are. You can read the details of your transactions. Workplace is a Facebook product. It's an intranet that EXP agents use to share stuff and announcements and things like that. The reason it's important is it's possible to get referrals. And you'll see if you hang out on Workplace, people will be posting, hey, does anybody want to do an open house in this area? I have a buyer moving to an area. Anybody, specialize in that area, that sort of thing. And My EXP is a mobile app. And if you're one of those people that, it's just all about the phone, I don't want to learn to use a computer, I want to use the phone as much as I can, the EXP mobile app has, among other things, links to all of these and other sites and things like that. And it's, a useful app for everything about EXP. What other tech might you need? Well, it's possible that you could stop there. You could continue to use AOL as your email, Yahoo as your email, or whatever one you use, and just, do what you can. There's advantages to that. We'll talk about it. You could also use Google, like the suite of Google products, and there's some special extensions that I cover in another class that are either free or almost free that would help you expand it. You could use KV Core, which is a very sophisticated, feature-rich system, or you could use a combination. Some things you could use Google, and sometimes you could be using KV Core depending upon what you're doing. So if you use what you have now, I'm just going to stick with AOL, right? I don't want to learn another email system. They're so complicated. Well, the advantage is you don't have to do anything and you don't have to learn anything, right? You're just using what you already know. But there's a disadvantage, and the downside is that you're not going to be as effective as you would with other systems that not only integrate better, but also might have functionality that real estate agents could use. So Google with extensions, I made videos on this. By using a variety of extensions, which I go through, you can sort of, I don't want to say that word, but anyhow, you can sort of beef up. How about that? Your Gmail, your Google Calendar, and all that. This would be at no cost or very, very low cost. And of course, Google works on everything, right? Every kind of phone and computer. And Google is relatively simple and easy to learn, right? There's lots of training and examples, even for real estate agents, on how to use Google. If you don't know how to use Google, Google it. How do I use Gmail? And you'll find a lot. Now, the disadvantage is it requires some time and effort, right? Using what you got right now requires no time and effort. But if you're using AOL or Yahoo, you would have to download Google, and you'd have to create an account and all of that sort of stuff, right? So it requires some time and effort, and you might have to watch my video on the extensions and, add them, all that sort of stuff. And also some of the automation that we can get with the KV Core, where we can send a series of emails or text messages or a combination with reminders. There's way more functionality for that in KV Core than with Google, but you can get kind of close. KV Core, it's an integrated system. Somebody goes to your web page, somebody fills out a form, they end up in your database. You can have an automated campaign to reach them. It's built for real estate marketing. And it's a feature-rich program. KV Core was designed to compete against Keller Williams Command and Compass's software and Top Producer, which are some of the big software programs that are out there. And it has all the features and all the whistles and bells, from bulk text messaging to video emails, squeeze pages, landing pages, all sorts of marketing, advertising things. It's a feature-rich program. Now, what's the disadvantage of KV Core? Well, it's a feature-rich program. And if you're not really all that technologically proficient, nor do you really have any time or interest or desire to learn anything about technology, just skip it, right? Just skip it. There's a learning curve, right? Now, the company that makes KV Core, Inside Real Estate, has a YouTube channel. They have lots of good courses to explain how to do things. They have lots of help articles and things. All of that's available. And of course, setting it all up would take some time, right? Take some time to set up. So my suggestions are, start with a Google system. Right? For some of you, you've already said, I'm just going to keep Yahoo. I'm not going to change anything. I don't want to learn anything. I don't want to add anything. I just want to make money without actually, making much of an effort. But for those of you that are willing to do something, start with Google, right? And I have videos on how to do that, but the extensions, but just start with Google. It works really well, works on your phone. As your database grows, which will be a necessity if you plan on making any money in the business, then at some point automated systems and campaigns and things like that are going to become far more useful. The KV Core website. So even if you're like, I'm going to use my Hotmail, I don't care, I'm not going to do anything, you still want to set up your KV Core website, because that won't take very long. We'll help you do it. All right, if you reach out to us, you can make an appointment, but to fill out your profile and get your URL so you can tell people you got a website. And if you're willing, and we can help you do this too, to create certain landing pages like a instant seller valuation page, find out what your home is worth in today's changing market instantly right here. A list of price reductions. Want to see all the price reductions that are occurring in your area? Go here. They fill out a form and they get to see them. Open houses that are coming up. There are others. You could say here are properties next to golf courses. Here are properties with pools. Here are properties that are fixer-uppers. Here are distress sales. These are called landing pages. And they look good to have some of them in your email signature, and it gives you things you can post on social media, right? But you can do this, right? You can create the landing pages and trick out your website without using the KV Core CRM. And if you're new to this, CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management System. In other words, this is the combination, right? You could use Gmail and Google for your normal communications with people, but you've got a website and some landing pages that you've set up through KV Core. It's a compromise. Property searches. Use the MLS. Use the MLS. KV Core, and this is true for all real estate companies, uses a system called IDX, which is the Internet Data Exchange. And that's how they syndicate listings on your website, but they only syndicate listings that are from your MLS. Now, if you run all of the properties that are available in your city, you're going to see that there are properties that are available that were listed by agents that are not in your MLS. And those listings, although they appear on Zillow and Redfin and Realtor.com, will not appear in your search. Now, if you use your MLS login, not the KV Core IDX property search, but you log into the MLS and set up a search, you're going to get a lot more of those properties because most of our MLSs cooperate with each other. But you understand that property searching, we use the properties that are on our website and are through the IDX exchange mostly as bait. Right? Mostly as bait, not necessarily to substitute for a real search. And you're going to find that some of your clients have heard of Zillow. They've heard of Redfin. They've heard of Realtor.com. And those sites are members of all the MLSs, so they are actually a more encompassing search. So what I would do is tell your clients to go ahead and use Zillow or Redfin. They're going to anyhow. But when they see a property that they like, take a screenshot and text it to me. And if you're wondering what exactly you might say, here is a sample. I will set you up on a search using the MLS. I realize you may also be looking on Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, or other home search apps. You will see pictures, names, and phone numbers for agents to help you with the property if you're interested. Many people think that these are the listing agents. They are not. They're just an agent who paid for that placement. I have as much information about the property as they do. I will also get any disclosures, run a market valuation of the property. I'll get showing instructions. What I'm asking is that you don't contact those agents and take a screenshot of the property and share it with me, and I will take it from there. Will you do that for me? I would say words like that, if not those exact words to the people, and get their commitment. Otherwise, you can see the downside. Pro tip. Once you've set somebody up in your MLS as a search, duplicate that search in Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com so that you're seeing everything. Because your MLS search, there are some MLSs that don't share is what's called the Real Estate Alliance, right? The MLS Alliance. They don't share. Right, but Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com are members of those MLSs. And so they have those properties. They might have properties that you don't see in your MLS. And wouldn't it be better if you knew about that? A house that matches the client search, wouldn't it be better if you knew about that rather than having to wait for them to tell you? When they text, oh, really? I didn't know that property was for sale. I would rather know in advance. What about social media? Well, are you on social media now? Are you on social media now? And if the answer is no, social media, like just posting stuff on social media, counts for a very, very, very small percentage of where business comes from. I'm talking about like 1%. If you are on social media and you already have an audience, continue to use those channels and maybe develop other ones. If you're not on social media now and you think, well, maybe it'd be a good idea for me to get on social media so that I can, communicate with my tribe, then you should figure out where would they be. Are they on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, something else? Or just don't bother, right? Social media accounts for a very small percentage of real estate business. Just saying. So do you need, don't I need a Facebook business page? Well, do you plan on running ads? It's kind of complicated, but you can run ads. Do you plan on boosting posts, which is kind of like running ads? Do you have time to develop unique original content that you can post? Now, if the answer to those questions is no, I ain't ever going to run ads, and I'm not going to pay money to boost posts, and I really don't know, I'm just going to like post pictures of homes or things like that. I don't know. I really don't have time for developing a lot of content, then don't bother, right? Just don't bother with a Facebook business page. And we will be discussing other social media strategies later. Anyhow, I hope that helped. One final thing, because I get asked this a lot. What apps do you have on your phone? Well, I have the Google Suite. Gmail, Calendar, Google Drive, use that a lot. I'm talking about in addition to text messaging and that sort of stuff. I have an MLS app. I have the Realtor's Property Resource. This is really, really valuable when you're at people's property and you need to pull up information from the public records or comparables. It works really, really well. It's a mobile app. I have Zip Forms, a mobile app, so that if I prepped a contract in particular, I could actually add, change, modify, send it out for signatures and all that from my phone. I have KV Core, which allows me to communicate with text messaging and things like that from people that are in my customer relationship management system. I have EXP World. Usually when I go to the world, I use a computer. It's the metaverse, the virtual reality. And I have EXP Realty, which is a mobile app that has links to the different EXP sites. It also has revenue share and attraction information and things like that. In addition to the normal stuff, this is what I've got on my phone. Maybe that's helpful. Anyhow, thanks a lot. Have a good day, everybody.